Swing and a miss, strike three. Deep to center field. This ball's crushed.
We welcome you to Southern California, where tonight in Anaheim, the Astros play a quick 3-game road trip, just one series and back home, against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, currently in second place in the AL West. The Astros come in 27 games over 500, and the Angels are 65 and 63. On this Players Weekend, everybody wearing their nicknames on the back of their jerseys. I'm TK alongside Blummer, and we're glad you could join us tonight for a little Astros baseball. And Blummer, it is good to be back in the division and see the Los Angeles Angels team. If you're going to win in the division, you got to beat guys like this.
Exactly, and they do play well within their division. The Angels have been playing good baseball, sneaking into those wild card races, so it's a good matchup this weekend for the Astros.
When you look at what the Astros have done well lately, their starting pitching has done a very good job last couple of times through the rotation. And our Toyota time to play, Colin McHugh right there with everybody.
Yeah, he's doing really well. If you look at the win-loss record, obviously it's not going to pop out at you and say he's doing a great job, but he actually has if you start to dig within those numbers. That last start out against the Oakland A's, pitched extremely well, scattered 6 hits, didn't punch out a lot of guys with that slider that we've seen him develop, but he did a good job of getting ground balls when he needed them. A lot of double plays being turned behind him, and if you're not going to get the punch out, it's good to pitch to contact and use that defense when they can step up for you.
He will be wearing the nickname Snapdragon 2 tonight. We'll see if he throws a few more curveballs with that moniker on his back. We're getting ready for the first pitch and the starting lineups. Astros and Angels on a beautiful night here in Southern California.
Yeah, we're getting you set for the first of this three-game series between the Houston Astros and the Angels of Anaheim. It's the 25th day of August. It's game number 128 for the Houston Astros, and to change things up, maybe brighten things up as well, it is Players Weekend around Major League Baseball. It's the very first of its kind. The Players Association and MLB coming together, allowing these guys to show a little bit of creativity, and in what's such a team sport, maybe some individualism as well. This weekend, all 30 teams are wearing the non-traditional uniforms. They've got the names, the nicknames, I should say, on the back of their jerseys. They have special patches where they're thanking people. And there's no rules really when it comes to the cleats, the bats, as you see there, some of the masks, the batting gloves. Everyone's using a little bit of creativity in different ways. You're looking at Jose Altuve, or Tuve, with his Venezuelan bat there. But the players certainly having some fun with it. Some of these nicknames are nicknames that they were given when they were growing up. Some of them were just given here recently in this particular clubhouse. And then there's guys like Luke Gregerson, who's going to pay tribute to his late father with Duke on the back of his jersey. So many different ways these guys can do it. They're going to have some fun tonight with it. It's definitely going to be bright down here. And for more on tonight's game, I'm going to send it up to guys who we like to call TK and Blummer. Guys.
All right, Julia, appreciate it. As you see the Astros uniforms, it is good to have a little individuality, as Margot is one of the nicknames you will see on the backs of the jerseys tonight. Before we get going into baseball stuff, Blummer,
yes,
our thoughts are definitely with everybody in Houston and the state of Texas during this trying time, and we wish everybody the best. Stay safe.
No, you can't say that enough. It looks devastating out there. We are thinking about you while we are out here on the West Coast. Be safe, be smart, and you're in our thoughts and prayers.
Hopefully we can provide a little diversion for you for the next few hours, as we'll take a look at the starting lineups presented by Southwest Airlines for the Houston Astros tonight. George Springer at the very top of the lineup. Struggled a little bit since coming back from the DL. Alex Bregman is hitting in the number 2 spot. Josh Reddick is the 3 hitter. Yuli Gurriel at first base. You see no Jose Altuve today. That means Marwin Gonzalez plays second base. Hope at 5th. Carlos Beltran is the DH. Evan Gattis, good to see him back. His last game was August 3rd. J.D. Davis is the 3rd baseman, and Derek Fisher is in left.
On the mound for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, you are looking at right-hander Parker Bridwell, or P. Brid, today. On his tribute patch, he has Hereford in tribute to the small town in Texas where he grew up. You see the record, it's 7-1. He is making his 14th Major League appearance, his 13th big league start. He has faced the Astros. It was a relief outing when he was with Baltimore on August 21st in Camden Yards. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 punch-outs. In 6 starts here at Angel Stadium, he is 3-1 with a 3.73.
He has done a really nice job for the Angels this year as we look at them defensively behind Bridwell. Cameron Maben in left field, Mike Trout in center field, Cole Calhoun in right. Around the infield, Valbuena, Simmons, Cowart, and Crone, and Martin Maldonado is your catcher tonight. We are underway with a fastball for a strike. Astros coming off a homestand in which they were 4-4. The Angels in the middle of playing a lot of teams in the AL West, including 3 on this current homestand. They just finished up a series with the Rangers. Now a weekend set against the Houston Astros. Springer down on the count 0-2. Parker gets the sign and he's ready to go. And the breaking ball just missed a little bit up to George. It's 1-2. Bridwell making his 14th overall appearance, his 13th start. And he gets George Springer on the curveball. He gets close to 50% of his strikeouts with that breaking ball, and that's how we start tonight's game.
He'll throw that curveball about 18% of the time. Good 12-6 break to that breaking ball. Fastball ranges from 90 to 95. Likes to throw that cutter/slider quite often. Also has a changeup. Has a tough time throwing strikes with that changeup.
Here's Alex Bregman, or A-Breg, on this Players Weekend as he takes a called strike, 0-1. You're going to see some unique shoes, some unique bats over the course of tonight's game, and nicknames to be worn all weekend long. Bregman fouls it away. It's 0-2. Guys are having a good time with it. Kind of looks like what the Miami Dolphins would wear if they were playing a baseball game.
Yeah, it looks like an explosion of highlighters down there.
0-2 pitch into right center field, falling quickly, diving attempt. Calhoun, he can't get there. Bregman a big turn, and now he'll retreat to first, and the throw gets away, but backed up by Maldonado. A lot going on there for a single into right center.
Yeah, you start seeing things flying all over the place. It reminds me of a yard sale. That's that breaking ball off the outer edge. Bregman does a good job staying on it off the end of the bat. It's an aggressive attempt by Calhoun, but he can do that with that soft line drive, knowing it's not going to roll all the way to the wall, and he also has his good buddy Mike Trout out there backing him up.
Bregman 3 for 5 last night. Now an opening base hit tonight. He has that average up to 283. Here's Josh Reddick. Reddick just a point below the 300 mark as we start tonight's play. Reddick has one of the more colorful bats. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
It's Red Dog.
Red Dog and little stars and stripes action on the bat.
He was all dressed up like Ric Flair early on today. What if he travels with that attire?
They wouldn't let him wear the Spider-Man nickname, but you could see the Spider-Man sleeve as he sends one to the left field. Maben on the move, slides and makes a catch in fair territory. Nice play by Maben. Bregman's going to have to hustle back to first again. And this time he gets in ahead of the throw by Simmons.
It's a pretty good play by Cameron. Went into his slide a little early, but did a good job going towards that line. Slicing away from him in left field. Nice play.
It's got to be the shoes.
There's
away.
A lot going on with these unis and the kicks, the bats.
Slim making that play.
Those are Spider-Man-esque.
I was going to say, those almost look like Spider-Man got robbed by Spider-Man shoes. Spider Mabe.
Wow.
So
wait a minute.
Reddick got thwarted by his own superhero.
He did. Some copyright infringement going on here.
Spider Mabe. Wow, if Reddick knew that. Here's El Yuli. Yuli Gurriel swings and misses. 0-1.
No La Pina?
No, I think Julia may have a story on that, but he had a few
he had some
nicknames
options
to choose from. El Yuli's his Twitter handle too, El Yuli 10.
Wow, that's Alex Cora down there. He just got tossed. Alex Cora just got tossed out of this ball game by Laz Diaz.
What?
AJ Hinch is going to come out and have a conversation. I'm not sure what initiated that. Julia's close enough to maybe hear what's going on. I'm not sure how much she's going to be able to relay. But that's a little premature for me.
Apparently Alex does not like the uniforms on Players Weekend.
Yeah, he did not want to be seen.
AJ coming out having a very calm conversation with Laz Diaz. Papers went flying in the dugout.
Yeah, he snapped. Wow. It was aggressive.
They landed right in front of AJ like he meant to place him there.
Alex Cora is a veteran.
So
he has a pretty good idea what he's doing down there in that dugout.
It was a swing and a miss. So it wasn't on this batter.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about.
And Laz has been around for a while too. I'm sure he and Alex know each other pretty well.
You know what? They may have been yelling at each other, but you might need a translator because I'm sure it was probably pretty heavy on the Spanish speaking side.
Cora is out in the first inning.
Well, Alex played long enough, and Laz Diaz has umpired long enough that I don't think there's a history that would, from Alex Cora's playing days, that would turn into a situation where he gets ejected as a coach. But they know each other.
Laz is one of the most liked umpires in the game. And he's friends with pretty much everybody. Not usually too many beefs around the league with Laz Diaz.
No. He's got a good zone just off the edge. You saw it up there on our MD Anderson strike zone.
He had opening day at Minute Maid Park this year. But that was a little bit unusual. 3-1 the count to HOU. When he wears Gurriel on his jersey, he doesn't walk much. We'll see if it changes tonight. In the air to right field, Calhoun is there. And the Astros down in the first. One man left on base. Colin McHugh when we come back. The top half of the first inning, Angels will come to bat in the bottom half, and here's how Mike Scioscia, in his 18th year as manager of the Angels, will line things up. Cameron Maybin, already saw him make a nice play in the outfield. He'll lead things off. Mike Trout is back and healthy and doing his thing. Albert Pujols the DH. Cole Calhoun in right field. Andrelton Simmons having a big year at shortstop. Luis Valbuena, the former Astro, at third. C.J. Cron at first base. Martin Maldonado is behind the plate, and Caleb Cowart is the second baseman.
Right-hander Colin McHugh, or as he's more affectionately known, Snapdragon 2, in reference to that great breaking ball that he has. Snapdragon 1 is Lance McCullers and the curveball that he has. 6 starts this season. Colin has a 1-2 record. Again, he's not getting the run support that he's accustomed to, but still pitching extremely well. The problem for Colin McHugh since coming back from that DL is that third time through the order. I'm not sure if it's fatigue or if they figure him out, but he's had a tough time getting the third time through that order.
How about Bregman on this play? The shortstop, Alex Bregman, on it in a hurry, and a spin throw to get the speedy Maybin by a bunch.
It's a great play, just in the sense that it is a great play. Athletic shortstop moving to his left, the spin move and the throw on the money. But what it does is it keeps Cameron Maybin off the bases, and he has been an absolute pest for the Houston Astros when he's gotten on base. He's not even in the vicinity of that shot when he makes that play.
That was an impressive start to the game defensively by Alex Bregman. Here's Mike Trout. Trout is back and carries a .663 slugging percentage. Also a .454 on base percentage. Both would be slugging percentage by far the best in baseball. Doesn't have enough at bats to qualify though, coming in batting .327. Trout with a 2-0 count. Trout missed over 6 weeks with a very similar thumb injury that we've seen with Carlos Correa. Pitch misses, and it's 3-0 to Trout. There's a strike call, 3-1.
Colin McHugh does a good job pitching up in the zone, and that is a place where Mike Trout has been beaten in the past. Does a very good job middle down. It'll be interesting to see how Snapdragon 2 sets up the Snapdragon. Because we've seen him throw some very good curveballs down, and Trout's gotten to him.
Missed into Trout there. A lot of those pitches just missed in off the plate. And Trout draws a 1-out walk.
Obviously not a guy that's going to chase. Felt that was good enough, and there you see a lot of the baseball catching that inside corner.
Here's how the Astros will line things up defensively behind Colin McHugh. Derek Fisher is the left fielder, George Springer in center, and Josh Reddick is in right. J.D. Davis gets a start at third base. You already saw Alex Bregman make a great play. Marwin Gonzalez in place of Jose Altuve and Yuli Gurriel. Evan Gattis back from the DL and behind the plate tonight for Colin McHugh. Here's Albert Pujols. Pujols takes a called strike. Pujols coming into this game the all-time leader in home runs against the Astros by a pretty wide margin. Tuesday, Pujols hit his 610th career home run. That moved him into 8th by himself, breaking a tie with Sammy Sosa. He's also 4 away from becoming the 10th player ever with 1,900 RBIs. Trout has stolen 14 bases this year. He's been caught 3 times. Angels do a lot of running. They lead the American League in stolen bases. That one scoots through Gattis and gets far enough away that Trout will advance.
Just off the DL, Evan Gattis. Looked like he got in pretty good position, just snuck through.
Called a pass ball. Usually when the ball hits the dirt, they give it to the pitcher, but that one's going to go on Evan Gattis with a pass ball. You'd like to see that pitch blocked, but I'm not sure it's a pass ball.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough league.
1-2 the count to Pujols, or the Machine, over the weekend. Fouls one away. The Machine, from his days back in St. Louis, year in and year out, just cranking out offensive numbers. Machine-like. Astros start the night 12.5 games ahead of the Angels. The Angels are tied with Seattle, 12.5 games back. The Angels have been right around 500 this entire year. They have at 25 different times this year. Mike Scioscia's team has been exactly at 500. Updated standings. The Astros with 35 games to go, starting tonight's play. Pitch bounces in there, and Gattis blocks this one. It's 2-2.
Yeah, we talked about playing within the division in the open. And the best part about playing within that division, if you're the Houston Astros, is if you do beat the team that you're playing against in your division, you get to increase that padded lead that they already have. I'm sure they would like to see that number expand a little bit after seeing it shrink here in the last couple weeks.
On the ground towards third, J.D. Davis to his left makes the toss to get Pujols, and that's out number 2. A couple ground ball outs for Colin McHugh.
Yeah, for J.D. Davis, that's a guy you can definitely take your time on and make sure you gather and make a good throw over to first.
StatCast Sprint leaderboard has Pujols last in speed in the major leagues. J.D. hitting his first big league home run last night.
I think he likes saying that about the machine.
That he's last?
He is finally last in something.
Yeah. There's something that he doesn't do well. Here's Cole Calhoun. The plan for Evan Gattis before tonight was catch a game, DH a game, catch another game. But all that kind of went out the window with Corpus Christi leaving town due to Hurricane Harvey, so Gattis did not catch a second game. And he's right back in there tonight. The corresponding move, the Astros placed Max Stassi on the 10-day disabled list with inflammation in his left hand.
The way A.J. Hinch described that left hand, that blister opening up, just a piece of hamburger hanging off that hand, said he couldn't hold the bat too well.
Nice job by both Stassi and Centeno while McCann and Gattis were on the DL.
I completely agree on that. He's actually quite thankful to see those guys in the organization and be able to be used.
One thing you're concerned with is this ball is headed towards the crowd. When you have both of your catchers go on the DL at the same time, one thing you're concerned with is not necessarily how they're going to be replaced in the lineup, but how they handle the pitching staff. And ERA the last couple of weeks without McCann and Gattis has been outstanding.
Been extremely good.
AJ knows he has a luxury of 4 quality catchers to choose from, and you'll probably see all 4 in the month of September.
They've earned it. I think that's great.
Astro starters have allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 9 of the last 11 games. Colin McHugh pitching 2 of those. Pitch misses upstairs.
Well, how about the last 3 times through the rotation? Starting with Dallas Keuchel back against the Chicago White Sox on August 8th. That first time through the rotation, 0-5 with a 8.88 ERA. Next time through the rotation, 3-2 with a 3.14 ERA. Third time, starting out just before this start in the rotation with Dallas Keuchel yesterday, they are 3-2, 1.72 ERA. So they have gotten subsequently better the last three times through the rotation.
It's been fun to watch. Colin McHugh has pitched very well lately. This is his last couple of starts, and 4 of his last 5 have been very good. Had 1 blip there in Chicago. 3-1 pitch is fouled back. Cole Calhoun wears Coleman because he had a junior college baseball coach that didn't know his name and it kind of stuck.
Played in Houston with a guy named Dave Newham. We all kind of sat down at the end of the bench. We were used as pinch hitters, and Cecil Cooper wanted Dave Newman to pinch hit frequently.
Newman never got it right.
No. So that similar thing happened to Dave Newham. We just kept calling him Newman.
He became Newman. Well, Coleman drives one to right, and this one is off the wall. Reddick plays it nicely. The throw into second base is going to be just a little late. Cole Calhoun with a double. That scores Mike Trout, and it's a 1-0 Angels lead.
Something interesting about Colin McHugh is that is the first run he's given up in the first inning since coming off the DL. Elevated fastball. He wanted to get this one a little bit higher in the zone, but Coleman did a good job of throwing the head out on it, hitting a rocket off that right field wall for the first run of this ball game.
There's the guy wearing Kid with the extra eyes crossing the plate. Another run scored for Mike Trout. He now has a team leading 66 despite missing over 6 weeks. Here's Andrelton Simmons. He takes a called strike. Simmons coming in batting .289. Continues to play outstanding defense. His offensive numbers are outstanding as well. this year. This pitch bounces in there and gets away from Gaddis. That's the second pitch that's gotten away from Evan in this first inning. First one was ruled a pass ball, and this one is a wild pitch.
Spiked breaking ball. Gaddis does the best he can, keeps it in front, but just kicking down that first baseline allows Calhoun to get into third base. He actually had a pretty good jump anticipating ball in dirt.
Fouled away. It's 1-2. Simon, just a play on the last name, Andrelton Simmons.
Some of these nicknames have copyright issues. That's why you're seeing some more of the basic nicknames on some of these guys instead of what they truly want. Can I say Simba? Am I going to get busted for that?
No, you're allowed to say that.
Okay.
That's what he wanted.
If the Angels were still owned by Disney, would he be able to say Simba?
That's a good question.
But anyways, he wanted to be Simba. That's what he is predominantly known as in that Angels clubhouse.
Line drive to left. Fisher has a line on it and puts it away. Andrelton Simmons hits it hard, but he's the final out of the inning. It's 1-0 Angels. Sportsnet is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Top half of the second inning, Astros coming to bat down 1-0. Marwin Gonzalez will lead things off. Astros fans making their way out here to Anaheim. Just a quick 3-game series here against the Angels, then back home. Breaking ball from Parker Bridwell, so called strike. Marwin had a rough homestand, batted .161 during the homestand, has that average at .303 to start tonight's play. Has been much better this year as a left-hand hitter, batting .327 against right-hand pitchers. Sends this one down the line and left. Maben gives it a look and it bounces just foul. Bridwell's done a good job early of getting ahead of counts. Got ahead of the first couple of hitters, Springer and Bregman, and now he's 0-2 on Marwin Gonzalez. Up high, it's 1-2. It'll be Marwin, Carlos Beltran, and Evan Gaddis. On the ground, slowly hit. Crone gloves it, flips to Bridwell, and Gonzalez is retired for the first out of the second inning.
Our league leaders are going to be presented by Houston Methodist. Career home run leaders amongst active players. Albert Pujols with 610. Carlos Beltran on that list also with 435. Adrian Beltre 461. Miguel Cabrera 459. He's going to have to take a break a little bit before he adds to that number. It's a lot of home runs between two guys here in Angels Stadium.
Carlos on this season has 14 total. 13 of those 14 have come left-handed. And Bridwell yet again starts another hitter out 0-2. Bridwell in the first 20 pitches has thrown 14 strikes. Bridwell, 26-year-old, acquired earlier this season from the Baltimore Orioles. Picked him up in a trade at the beginning of the year, and he has made a name for himself here in Anaheim as he gets Beltran looking at a called third strike. Second strikeout for Bridwell.
That's generous. There is cut on that pitch from P-Brid, but I'm not sure enough of it came back and you saw in our MD Anderson strike zone. It doesn't think so either.
That's the middle name for Carlos Beltran, Ivan. That's why he is wearing that jersey for the weekend. Here's Evan Gattis. Gattis swings to the first pitch he sees back from the DL and fouls one away. Evan missed 19 games. He was on the concussion disabled list after being struck in the head on a backswing by Corey Dickerson. Last played on August 3rd. Played a couple of games in a minor league rehab situation, and here he is active tonight. Pitch misses down and in. It's 1-1. Mentioned the Astros like to play well within their division. The Angels are in the midst of playing exclusively against American League Western teams. They just played 4 against the Rangers. Gattis sends one into right. Calhoun drifts back, and he puts it away for the final out. So 1-2-3 inning for Parker Bridwell.
Over the Houston Astros as we go to the bottom of the second, and we're going to take a look at our pitch usage presented by AT&T, and it is Colin McHugh comparing last year to this year. In 2016, the usage on that fastball low, because he was very heavy on that cutter at 29%. The interesting thing is here in 2017, he's gotten better with the fastball command, using it more, but that pitch, the slider right in the middle, 19% is a new pitch he's breaking out. You can see it compared to 2016, basically non-existent, but it has been a very effective pitch for him here in 2017.
Luis Valbuena, the former Astro, takes a pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Valbuena with the Astros the last 2 seasons, signing as a free agent with the Angels in the offseason. 6 for 16 against Houston this year. As he swings through that pitch, it's 1-1. Valbuena comes in with a batting average of .206. With 16 home runs and 47 runs batted in. That average has moved up lately. It was at 187. But his last 11 games, he has a .357 average with 5 home runs. Around a bunt with the shift on and bunts it foul against his former teammate Colin McHugh. Mono, Valbueno's nickname, means monkey in Spanish. That has been his nickname for a little while. So Mono facing Snapdragon 2. Just barely gets a piece of it. Snapdragon 1's pitching in a game tonight, but not at the big league level, so Lance McCullers will just wear his Fresno Grizzlies jersey.
Do they ever just wear the Fresno Grizzlies jersey? We just saw pictures on the other night of Carlos Correa wearing an Oreo taco uniform.
Line drive into right field for a hit on the 1-2 pitch. Yeah, there was a little Oreo in the O of Fresno on the Carlos Correa jersey we saw. So I don't know if they ever wear just their Grizzlies jerseys.
It's the deal of the season with Powerade Double Play Tuesdays for only $22. This offer includes 2 View Deck 2 tickets for every Tuesday home game at Minute Maid Park. This offer is only valid at the Minute Maid Park box office. For more information, visit astros.com/value.
C.J. Cron is the batter, runner on first base. McHugh has allowed a couple of hits and a walk so far in this game. The walk to Mike Trout, he came around to score. And the first pitch to Cron misses up and away. It's 1-0. Cron coming in batting .250 with 10 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Astros lead this season series 6-4 against the Angels. Ball is over Alex Bregman's head. That'll be back-to-back hits to start the bottom half of the second inning.
Pitches getting left up in the zone from Colin McHugh, getting hit hard here early on. Bregman with a valiant effort just over the outstretched arm.
Colin has generally pitched well against this team. 8 of his 11 starts, including the last 4, have been quality starts. Now facing Martin Maldonado. Maldonado coming in batting .229. Colin gets a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Maldonado, an excellent defensive catcher. He's thrown out over 40% of would-be base stealers this year. Whatever they can get from him offensively, they will take. This year he's hit 11 home runs in that .229 average. Fouls it away. Maldonado spent a number of years in Milwaukee. He was with the Brewers from 2011 through 2016. Underway on another beautiful night here in Southern California. Astros will play 1 hour earlier tomorrow and then an afternoon game on Sunday. And then we'll find out when the Astros can head back home. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. And there is a strikeout for Colin McHugh, his first.
for a strikeout. Used that slider to get it. Started on that outside edge, break it off the plate. Got the chase from Maldonado. Reluctantly.
Tomorrow will actually be a half hour earlier than tonight's game, not an hour earlier. They start on the bottom of the hour, and there's a big ceremony with one of your guys tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, Vlad Guerrero being honored here at Angels Stadium, going into that Angels Hall of Fame. Be good to see him if I could find him and get down there and bug him a little bit.
So tonight's game started at 9:07 Central. Tomorrow's game will start at 8:38 Central. And then Sunday's wrap-up will start at 2:37 Central. The pre-games and post-game shows for you from right here in Anaheim. 0-1 the count to Caleb Cowart. Cowart, a better left-hand hitter, switch hitter, batting .257, .283 as a lefty. Fouls went back to the screen. It's 0-2. Bounces in there, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was the Snapdragon, the traditional 12-6 breaking ball from Colin McHugh. Comes in there in the mid-70s. That slider that he punched out Maldonado with was at 82 miles an hour. A little more right to left movement on it as opposed to the north to south movement on the curveball. Nicknamed the Snapdragon.
Grounded foul.
There's that slider. Buried on that lead foot.
Nice mix right now as you showed the pitch usage where the slider and the curveball used about equally. And he has really developed confidence in that slider in a hurry, a pitch he developed just this year. See what he goes to here, 1 and 2. Back to the curve, and it misses outside. There's that up to down movement you were talking about without necessarily the big break that you see with the slider. Stays 2 and 2. Cowart's played each of the last 2 years with the Angels. 34 games 2 years ago, 31 games last year. Breaking ball called, 3rd strike. McHugh drops it in there. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 outs in the 2nd.
Good job of battling back after giving up 2 leadoff base hits to start this inning. Snapdragon on the outside corner for the caught looking. Nicely done by Colin, not out of the woods yet.
Now he has to face the top of the order in Cameron Maben. Maben was retired on a great play by Alex Bregman his first time up. Bregman was moving to his left quickly, and a nice throw off of a spin to retire Maben on the first pitch he saw. 2 hits and 2 strikeouts in the inning, and a fly ball into center field. Springer is back, playable before the track. George puts it away for the final out. So we're through 2 innings. It's 1-0.
Time for our Chevy Stroh poll tonight. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW. There you can find our pinned tweet, which is our Stroh poll. What is your favorite Astros nickname for Players Weekend? There's 100 Miles Giles for Ken. Big Fudge. That's Jake Marisnik. Chris Stavinsky, Devo the Dragon, or Red Dog. Josh Reddick. It's all coming from different places. Or you could just write one in, because there's lots of guys out there. We only had room for 4. Those were some of our favorites. Guys, do you have a favorite?
Those are good choices.
Not too sure yet.
I would go with Jake's.
You like Big Fudge?
I think that's kind of funny. Julie can tell us a story on that at some point this weekend. What about these 2 young guys? J.D. Davis drills one deep to left field. J.D. in back-to-back at-bats has hit a home run. He hits his first Major League home run last night in the 11th, and he comes back tonight in his first AB, first pitch he sees, and he drills one into the bullpen and left.
It's a pretty solid ambush. Come in there ready to hit, barrel it up, and shoot it out the left here. That's not easy to do here at Angel Stadium. It is deep, getting into that bullpen. Fastball coming right in. Leg kick was ready, that foot was down, and the barrel went flying through that pitch. That was beautiful. It's good to see the young man taking advantage of a mistake.
Here's Derek Fisher. I mentioned a couple of young guys leading off this inning with J.D. Davis and Derek Fisher, neither one of them with a nickname. You would think of all the guys, maybe the young guys would have some sort of nickname.
Got to earn it. Stop me if you've heard that phrase before, but I'll hashtag it.
Earn it. It's a good motto. Davis is Davis. Fisher is Fisher. Even the third guy due up this inning, George, just went with Springer.
Now, can we talk a little bit? Well, maybe we can talk about George when he comes up. But the most entertaining guy on the team, George Springer, is Springer.
Right.
Come on, man.
And he's not on Twitter.
Well, I actually enjoy the fact that he's Twitterless Springer. I find that amusing. But the standard Springer, come on.
Here's a ground ball right side. Loved by Cowart. He makes the play on Derek Fisher. I mean, Fisher's Fish.
Yeah, you at least shorten it, put Fish on there.
But not tonight. Julia.
Well, you hear him called Georgie a lot.
Yeah.
That's around the clubhouse. He's not the biggest fan of the color scheme going on. He dropped a tropical Skittles in the clubhouse. Said, I like to eat Skittles. I don't like to look like one.
Wow.
Wasn't really sure about the sock combo.
Oh, he's going
He
strong
liked
with it,
the
though.
orange blue. Wasn't sure about the red and yellow. He has an opinion on everything. Just ask him. He's great. He's our go-to.
I like the rainbow on the bat, though. That is solid.
That's a nice touch.
So because he wasn't sure if he liked the uni, he just went Springer?
I'm not real sure why he went just Springer. That's just George.
1-1 the count to George. Takes a pitch down low. Springer struck out on a curveball his first time up.
At least go Spanish or something and put Jorge on the back or something, you know?
I was going to say, this is maybe so he can just make fun of everyone else's nickname and no one can really say anything back to him.
That's inside knowledge right there. That's actually a great point.
He couldn't have more personality than George Springer, and hopefully you saw Bases Loaded segment tonight with George Springer featured. And if you haven't, make sure you tune into an upcoming Bases Loaded segment because it was outstanding. But yeah, with all that personality overflowing, surprising we just see Springer on the back of the jersey. There's a pop-up on the infield. C.J. Cron, the first baseman, will take it. And that's out number 2. But in addition, they have those little, on the sleeve, they have those little
tribute patches.
So you can also put something else there. And for George, it's about mom and dad, George Jr. and Laura. And for Alex Bregman,
he's got Brady on his sleeve. Brady is Bregman's godson who has autism. So a nice tribute recognizing Brady over this weekend.
Up and in to A. Breg, 1-0. Even A.J. Hinch has a tribute patch on tonight.
I know a little too much about that.
Mark Marquez.
Yep. Played against him for years. His nickname was 9 because of the number he wore. It's kind of interesting, too. The college coach that I had, we called him 7 because he wore the number 7. But Marquez was over at Stanford, recently retired. Longtime Stanford coach, an obvious influence on A.J. Hinch.
Retiring after 41 years. 3-0 the count to Bregman. Alex singled in right center field his first time up. There's a strike called. It's 3-1. Parker Bridwell from Hereford, Texas, the beef capital of the world.
That's right. I heard El Caballo talking about that place.
You were talking about Carlos Lee yesterday. I'm sure he's made some trips to purchase some cattle through there.
I bet you he did.
3-2 the count to Bregman. And that's the patch that Bridwell wears, is Hereford.
Remember the rodeo we went to in March?
Yeah.
Carlos Lee. Nice.
Bregman into center field, another hit. That's now 5 hits for Bregman in his last 7 ABs.
He allows me to continue the story. Carlos Lee had a clause in his contract. He would leave spring training in March to go to that rodeo livestock show in Houston.
Are you serious?
Yep. He had to go make a couple purchases, see what kind of cattle was being run through there.
He was given permission just to leave spring training. How about that? If you take Bregman's little hitting streak here back to the previous game, he's now 6 for 8 or 7 for 10. It's quite a run for Bregman. 3 for 5 last night, 2 for 2 tonight, and 2 for his last 3 on Wednesday night. This is coming off that stretch since July 4th where he's been amongst the best in baseball, and he keeps getting better.
I want to say it is a good recent streak, but it's a great massive streak that he's had now here for almost 2 months.
It'll be nice for AJ to think about a lineup with Carlos Correa in it, because Bregman at the beginning of the year was in the number 2 spot when Correa was playing, and then Alex didn't get off to a great start and he moved down towards the bottom third of the lineup. And now the way Alex is hitting, I can't imagine him moving back to the bottom third of the lineup again, but we'll see. AJ will have some choices to make, hopefully in the next week or so. Swing and a miss from Reddick. He's down to the count 0-2. Josh, who wears the Spider-Man sleeve, was robbed on a line drive the other way by Spidey Mabe, Cameron Maben in left field. So the guy who wears the Spider-Man sleeve lined out to the guy who wears the Spider-Man shoes. On the ground towards second, Coward is there. Astros tie it. 1-1. We head to the bottom of the third.
Rookie J.D. Davis getting an opportunity with Altuve on the shelf, and he takes advantage of it, ambushing an early fastball to get the Astros tied. Astros and Angels here in Anaheim in the bottom of the third inning, and it's time for our spray chart. Mike Trout coming to the plate, sitting on 26 home runs this season. I think he likes to pull the baseball a little bit. 15 of those to left field. Tough ballpark here in Angel Stadium to yank that ball out to left, but obviously plenty of power. Not too many going the other way. And I think that's because he likes to hit that off speed, get the head out on it.
Takes a called strike on the breaking ball from Colin McHugh. McHugh walked Trout his first time up, and Mike came around to score his 66th run of the year. Pitch fouled out of play. 0-2. Trout has played 36 games since coming back from the DL, and he is batting .313 during that time with 10 home runs. Bounces in there, blocked by Evan Gattis. It's 1-2. 1 run on 3 hits for both sides. RBI double by Cole Calhoun in the first, and a solo home run by J.D. Davis for the Astros in the third. This is outside. It's 2-2. Hugh has faced Trout a bunch in his career. 21 at bats before tonight. And he gets Trout swinging. Colin McHugh with 3 strikeouts of the last 4 batters.
Talked earlier about how you can set Mike Trout up in the zone for the swing and miss. Does a great job down. We saw some breaking pitches down in the zone from Colin McHugh. Just kind of changing that eye level a little bit, and in doing so, he was able to sneak that fastball up in the zone. Colin's a guy, even though he doesn't have the high velocity, is not afraid to reach back and get that fastball up in the zone for the swing and miss.
Now facing Pujols, who grounded out his first time up. Albert takes a pitch up and away for a ball. It's 1-0. McHugh's last 4 starts here in Anaheim at Angel Stadium. The Astros have won all 4. He has a 1.86 ERA in those 4 games. Had a little issue with getting behind hitters in the first inning or so. See if he can get that corrected as the game goes along. He's down in the count 2-1 to Albert Pujols. He has looked sharper lately, picking up all 3 strikeouts in the last inning and a third. Pujols fouls one away. It's 2-2. Against the Angels, only Clayton Kershaw with a better ERA. Gio Gonzalez right behind Colin McHugh, but Colin's always fared well against this team. And he gets Pujols. That's now 4 out of the last 5 hitters that have gone down on strikes. Pujols strikes out for the second out.
Good execution on some of these sequences for Colin McHugh. But I agree with you. That first inning, he was having issues with the command, but here he's doing a great job of working off the edges and creating the swing and miss. You could see the intention of the machine was to go out there and cover that outside corner, but with that pitch breaking away from him, no chance to get to it.
4 of the first 7 hitters reached base, 3 hits and a walk, but McHugh's retired the last 5, 4 of them on strikeouts. Now facing Cole Calhoun. He hit one off the wall for an RBI double his last time up, and he's started with a breaking ball for a strike. Calhoun with RBI number 55 on the year. Pops one up left field. Derek Fisher. And that'll do it for the Angels. We're through 3 in California with the score tied at 1. first for the second Baseball on Tap presented by Budweiser. Enjoy beer tastings, live music, and more before the Astros take on the Mets. 500 attendees will also receive an exclusive Baseball on Tap pint glass. For more information, visit astros.com/baseball on tap today. Yuli Gurriel grounds one on the first pitch of the fourth inning to third base. And he is retired for the first out of the inning.
Second baseman, number 9, Marvin Gonzalez.
Parker Bridwell has allowed a couple of singles and a home run. J.D. Davis getting him for a solo shot. That'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin had the pretty easy nickname. Everybody calls him Margo. That's what he's going with on this Players Weekend.
Got that cool rainbow bat too.
Fastball for a called strike. Mentioned Bridwell out of Texas, out of Hereford, Texas. He was scheduled to pitch for Texas Tech prior to being drafted in the 2010 first-year player draft. Baltimore Orioles selected him. He made his way up through the Orioles minor league system and actually appeared last year out of the bullpen for a couple of games, including his major league debut on August 21st. That came against the Houston Astros. Pitched against the Astros 1 year and 4 days ago for his debut. But now a chance to get into the starting rotation with the Angels, and he has made the most of it. The ERA after his first start against the Braves was 4.5, but after that it kept coming down and down into the low 3s and into the 2s, sitting at 2.92 before tonight's game started. In the air towards left, Maben on the move again, and another slide, almost a carbon copy of a catch he made earlier tonight, as Maben puts it away for the second out.
Yeah, and I think that's just a combination of where that ball's hit and stadium awareness for Cameron Maben. Here at Angel Stadium, down those lines, the stands come at you pretty quick, and he's basically right on that slide mark that he made previously. Exactly on top of that thing. That was kind of crazy. Made that sliding catch earlier against Josh Reddick. Spider-Man on Spider-Man crime.
Beltran in the air to center. Trout comes in, and Mike Trout puts it away for the final out. 1-2-3 inning for the Angels and Parker Bridwell. We head to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 1.
4th. Lots of Astros fans here in Southern California, maybe getting out of the rain, but if they were here early, they got this Nolan Ryan bobblehead, guys. I don't know if you got one up there, but it's got an Angels uniform on. Obviously pitched very well for this organization too, so give him credit there. I think this is the bobblehead of his 4th no-hitter. 4 of 7.
Is that your bobblehead?
No, did you notice how she said there might be one up here? That was a hint, that was a subtle hint. If there is, get it for me.
Right. No, I actually borrowed this one from a fan. I had to give it back.
Forever.
No, I had to give it back.
Nolan Ryan bobblehead at Angel Stadium tonight. Chopper off the bat of Andrelton Simmons, and Marwin Gonzalez makes the play for out number 1. McHugh has looked good in the last few innings after a little bit of a struggle early. He has now retired the last 7 batters. What else do you have, Julia?
Well, I don't know if it's in the notes. I've been looking and wasn't sure exactly why it was Nolan Ryan bobblehead tonight. You know, for the Astros Legends weekend, you get the Legends bobblehead. There's always some kind of correlation, right? So I asked the fan if he happened to know, and he then decided to explain to me who Nolan Ryan was. As if I had zero idea, which was entertaining for me, to say the least. And I didn't have the heart to shut him down, so I listened.
Learn anything new?
He said he was a really great pitcher for the Angels. He owns the Rangers, is what he said, and that's where I had to say, well, wait. No.
You had to jump in at that point.
I had to jump in at that point. But it was nice of that fan to let me borrow the bobblehead.
Very cool.
We do know who Nolan Ryan is, though, around here.
Popped in the air to shallow left. Derek Fisher, 2 outs. Nolan, the all-time leader in Angels history in both complete games and shutouts, as well as you might imagine in strikeouts. Had 156 complete games with the Angels, 40 shutouts, and 2,416 strikeouts. So tonight they honor Nolan. Tomorrow, Vladimir Guerrero. 2 outs, and Colin McHugh will face C.J. Cron. Cron pops one foul out of play. Cron singled his first time up. He was the last guy to reach base for the Los Angeles Angels with that hit following Luis Valbuena's hit. The Angels had scored a run in the first and had first and second, nobody out in the second. But McHugh got 2 strikeouts and a flyout to get through that inning. Pitch misses outside. It's 1-1. Colin doing a good job working ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch is in the air to left field. Fisher comes on and makes the catch, sliding to the ground. Derek Fisher taking one away from C.J. Cron.
lace up your shoes. The annual badges and bases run presented by Neri will take place at Chenier, September 30th, Minute Maid Park. Each race participant will receive a commemorative T-shirt and a photo opportunity at home plate. Register today at astros.com/run. I'm always bummed I don't get to run in this because the Astros are usually on the road. But sign up and run in that. Evan Geddes comes up to the plate here, guys, with Bull on the back of his jersey. We know him as Oso Blanco because of his days playing in Mexico or in different winter balls in different countries, I should say, different winter ball leagues. But Bull comes from much earlier than that. In high school, he was going to a camp, and one of the coaches watched him dig in at the plate. Just kept digging in, just like a bull. And that's where he got the nickname Bull. So stuck with him, and that's what he's donning on his jersey today.
Yeah, fits.
Yeah, he's as strong as one.
Good to see Gaddis back in there, and his tribute patch is to his mom and his dad. The Bull with a soft spot as well, Joe and Melinda. He sends one up in the air to center field. Mike Trout is there. Both pitchers matching each other as Parker Bridwell is only allowed one base runner since the home run.
It is time for our Shiner Light Blonde Spotlight, and it falls on J.D. Davis. His last AB at Minute Maid Park before going on this road trip was going Oppo Taco for his first big league home run. He backed it up with his first at bat on the road here, turning on a fastball from P. Britt, putting it in that Astros bullpen. J.D. Davis getting that swing going.
See if Bridwell starts him off with a similar pitch, throws a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So JD had a big minor league season going with the long ball. He had 21 home runs for Corpus Christi in the Texas League, then another 5 for the Fresno Grizzlies. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Even though JD hasn't been in the Texas League for over a month, he still continues to be the co-leader in home runs in that league. Franmil Reyes finally caught up to him with 21 home runs in the Texas League.
He's on the postseason all-star team also. It's doing some damage if you're not there for a month and you're still qualifying for all these accolades.
JD played 16 games with Fresno before being called up to the big leagues. His last game with Corpus Christi was on July 18th. Swing and a miss. Bridwell gets J.D. Davis. So after Davis hits the home run, Bridwell gets him the next time around. That's strikeout number 3 for Parker Bridwell.
Derek Fisher finished that last inning with a great catch coming in. Not easy on that sinking line drive, and our Mattress Firm Supermo shows you that he did a good job of keeping it in that glove. Sliding 2-hand catch.
Came out with the bare hand on the ball. Nice job by Fisher, robbing C.J. Cron to end the inning, and now Fisher will bat. He grounded out his first time up. Eric grounds one to the right side again, and this time Cowart moves to his left. Bridwell with another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 straight. On the rocks out there in center field. As both pitchers are doing a nice job so far. 1 run on 3 hits for each. Astros' last hit was a J.D. Davis home run, followed by an Alex Bregman single in the 3rd. And the Angels have all 3 of their hits in the first 2 innings. Colin McHugh has retired 9 in a row as he starts the 5th inning. Martin Maldonado leads things off. Takes a pitch high and away for a ball, 1-0. Collins struck out 4 in a 5-hitter stretch, beginning with Martin Maldonado, his first time up. On the ground foul. Colin had 2 different rehab stints in the minor leagues this year. The first one came after shoulder tendonitis in spring training, and then he had a little elbow impingement that put him back on the DL and stopped that rehab short. He's ahead 1-2 on Maldonado. And the second rehab assignment came all at AAA Fresno, where he pitched 4 times and now back working for the 7th time at the big league level this year. By the way, Snapdragon 1 did not have the kind of outing he was hoping for tonight at Fresno. McHugh wearing Snapdragon 2. Snapdragon 1, of course, is Lance McCullers Jr. Lance went 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 5 walks, and 3 runs in his outing tonight for Fresno against Tacoma. Struck out 1. Tony Sipp pitched a scoreless perfect 4th inning, and we're anticipating Will Harris will pitch the next inning in that game. Harris could be back as soon as this series in Anaheim. 2-2 pitches fouled back. Casquejo is a nickname that Martin picked up in Puerto Rico from his father and grandfather. And he takes one inside. The count's 3-2. McHugh gets Maldonado for the 2nd straight time. Strikeout number 5 for Colin, and 1 out in the 5th.
Pretty safe to say the book is go to the wrinkle when you can on 2 strikes, no matter what count it is. Maldonado aggressive in that 3-2 count, pulls off that slider. You can see the front side completely open up. No chance to cover that outside corner.
That'll bring up Caleb Cowart. He struck out looking his first time. Cowart has the nickname Pal on his jersey on Players Weekend. He was given that by his teammate in the minor leagues, Jet Bandy. Kind of stuck all the way through. And a called strike. It's 1-1. Way back in rookie ball, Jet gave him that nickname, and here he is wearing it on Players Weekend.
Part of the fun is hearing the stories behind the nicknames. It seems like most of them aren't just the standard clubhouse nickname that just given to you. There's some history behind some of these things.
Colin McHugh picks up another strikeout. He strikes out Cowart for the 2nd straight time. Last time looking, this time on a breaking ball down and in.
Good pitch. That is nasty, and that's the slider. Good downward action on that pitch.
Almost hit him in the foot.
So he threw that pretty hard, didn't he?
HOU with 6 strikeouts and now facing the top of the order, Cameron Maybin. Since coming back has a strikeout high of 7. That came in his second start in Detroit. Maybin thinking about a bunt. Takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Maybin has grounded out and flied out to center field. Pouring that breaking ball over where he wants it. That time for a strike, it's 1-1.
Cameron Maybin getting creative, swinging a matchstick up there. Foul tip one off the end, he might start a fire.
Takes one away. It's 3-1. Unique styles, individual styles. A little arrow on that bat. There's a strike. HOU allowed a first inning run on a walk and a 2-out double by Cole Calhoun. Line drive speared by the third baseman J.D. Davis. McHugh has now set down 12 in a row, and we're through 5 times. AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for just $3.99 for a limited time only. And by the all-new 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best limited truck warranty. See dealer for warranty details. From the Big A, Angels Stadium, George Springer with a big swing and misses as he leads off the 6th inning. George looking for his first hit tonight, trying to snap an 0 for 14. Seen his average dip below the 300 level. This pitch up and in from Parker Bridwell. It's 1-1. Bridwell's looked good tonight. He's allowed just 3 hits. The only run allowed, a solo home run by J.D. Davis to lead off the 3rd. Not like just the Astros have struggled against Bridwell. He had a 1.69 ERA in the month of July. And he has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 7 of his last 8 starts. Big swing from George. 2-2 the count.
About due for George to square one of these up. The head flying out a little bit as he tries to launch on that fastball.
It'll be George, followed by Alex Bregman and Josh Reddick. Jose Altuve not playing tonight. Left the game last night or yesterday afternoon. No, it was last night. With a stiff neck and ended up coming to the ballpark today. Not taking BP, just being a little cautious with it. George sends one into left center field. Maben on the move. He looks up. This ball is bouncing up and against the fence. George into second base with a leadoff double in the 6th inning.
Talk about George's power all the time. 2-strike count, does a good job. He didn't get too big on this one. Almost looked like he fought it off, but still strong enough to shoot it out in that right center field gap. You can see he gets to contact and then pulls the swing and just kind of cut it off a little bit. But in doing so, hits a nice line drive in that gap off the wall. Easy double. Break that 0 for 14 with that double. Hopefully good things continue to happen for George.
And here's the hottest hitter for the Astros lately, Alex Bregman. Bregman 3 for 5 last night. Has 8 hits in his last 10 at bats. Takes a pitch for a called strike.
It's all right if you're into hits. Even with Altuve not in there, somebody in that lineup is getting a lot of knocks, and it's this guy right here.
2 for 2. He was 2 for 3 2 nights ago, 3 for 5, and then 2 for 2 tonight. So 7 of his last 9. Still pretty good. 285 on the year. It's come a long way back to hit 285 right now for the season.
Yeah, Tuve not in there. Could have put pretty good on the back of his jersey.
He should have. Pretty good. Missed seeing Altuve out there in the field. He might be back tomorrow. AJ said day to day, literally, he'll find out tomorrow how Altuve's feeling. Ground ball foul. You know Jose doesn't want to miss too much time. We mentioned in last night's telecast he's a pretty quick recovery guy. We'll see if Altuve plays in this series tomorrow. Astros trying to pick up a run here and give Colin McHugh a lead for the first time tonight. McHugh has been outstanding after a first inning run, a couple of base hits to start the second. He has been absolutely locked down tonight. Towards the middle, glove by Simmons. The runner moves over to third as Simmons makes the play on Bregman. So the Astros with a runner on third base and 1 out.
Good play by Simmons. Brought the stick with a miss here. Now he's a dual threat. Always been very good at shortstop with the soft hands. Makes a play ranging to his left look relatively easy. Good jump by George, by the way, moving in to third base, less than 2 outs.
That's a good read. You have to know pretty much exactly where the shortstop is. And anything to the right of the shortstop or at him you hold.
Well, George is pretty lucky in the sense that he's got enough speed that he can make that ball be on his left-hand side in order to get that extra 90 feet. A couple of ex-teammates having a good time.
Springer and Valbuena.
Maybe George is asking Louis what his favorite Skittle flavor is. Hook him up.
Well, the Astros, whenever they've needed a sac fly this year, have turned to this guy, Josh Reddick. He has 11 of them. Nobody else in baseball has more. Infield is in. Josh takes a pitch down and away, 1-1. Josh is flied out on a nice play by Cameron Maben and also grounded out to second. Franchise record for most sac flies in a season is 13. Reddick just 2 away from that mark. Good job not chasing pitches down. It's 2-1. Red Dog, that's his nickname for the weekend.
Big Georgia Bulldog fan.
Still think Dirt Dog would have been more appropriate, but I'll go with Red Dog.
Or Pine Tar Dog.
Pine Tar Dog.
Or Sticky Goo on My Hat Dog.
Reddick fouls one away, and now the count evens up at 2 apiece.
It's a good pitch. Slider down and in from Bridwell. Josh had intentions of trying to get under that and elevating it to the outfield.
Bridwell often goes to the curveball, looking for a strikeout. Instead, it bounces past Maldonado. Here comes Springer, safe at home plate. Georgia head first slide. The Astros have their first lead. It's 2-1 as Springer comes down the line on a pitch that got through Martin Maldonado.
Good jump by George. Third base, you've got to anticipate this one yanked, and Maldonado unable to slow it down. George with a good jump gets in there, and luckily there's no collision down there. Always tough when you're diving in.
Luckily he didn't have his hand stepped on.
Yeah, that's what I always worry about too.
Now the count's full on Reddick. The infield moves back, and Reddick drives one or pops one up to shallow left field. Long run Maben. Cameron dives, can't get there. Josh with a little flare single to left. Cameron Maben had a long way to go as they were shading Reddick the other way, and Josh ends up with a 1-out single.
I was a little surprised not to see Maben a little bit closer to that. Little drop shot, slicing fly ball. Reddick not happy with himself, but he was pleasantly surprised when he saw that.
Astros will take it. Only the 5th hit allowed by Bridwell. 4 of the 5 hits have been from the top 3 in the order. Bregman with 2 hits, Springer a double in this inning, and now Reddick. Yuli Gurriel pops one up just beyond the infield. Simmons is there, puts it away for out number 2. Yuli now 0 for 3. 2 outs, runner on first. That'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin is grounded out and flied out. Astros started the night with a 4-game lead for the best record in the American League over the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox at home tonight gave up 16 runs to the Orioles.
Oof.
Baltimore put a 16 spot on them in a 16-3 victory. So the Astros can push their lead up to 5 with a win tonight for the best record in the American League.
Rick Porcello gave up 11 runs, only 4 of them earned. Yikes.
Wow. He gave up how many?
11 runs.
Ooh.
4 of them were earned.
That is not
Boston made 5 errors in that game.
That is not a good night in Fenway for the home faithful. Well, I mean, obviously you want to be the 1 seed for the fact that you get home field advantage throughout. But also, after watching that Boston and Cleveland series,
man,
it'll be nice to avoid one of those teams in the first round.
I am with you on that. There's 2 very good teams.
Certainly the Yankees and whoever else might come into that mix in the wild card picture would be formidable opponents. But when you're talking about a 5-game series and one team has Corey Kluber and the other has Chris Sale, no thank you.
Trying to avoid that. And if you just look at the season records too.
Yeah.
Obviously the Astros were very good against the Yankees, and we've seen them perform extremely well in the Big Apple too. So they're not intimidated by the stage up there. But I'm with you as far as starting rotations. Boston and Cleveland very, very good.
Marwin a ground out on the right side, and the Astros take the lead. It's 2-1.
One of the best ballpark bargains with Coca-Cola Value Nights for only $18 during select weekday games. This offer includes a ticket, hot dog, soda, and popcorn. Visit Astros.com/Coke Value for tickets and for more information. TK.
All right, Julia, thank you. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Tough part of the lineup with Mike Trout leading off and takes a fastball in from Colin McHugh. Trout walked his first time up. He would advance to second on what was ruled a pass ball on Evan Gattis, then came around to score on a double by Cole Calhoun. That is the only run allowed to this point by Colin McHugh, as Snapdragon 2, as he's known on Players Weekend, has been very good tonight. They'll face Trout, then Albert Pujols and Calhoun in this inning. And it's 2-1. Colin has 6 strikeouts. He's recorded outs on the 8 and 9 hitters all 4 times via the strikeout. He also got Trout and Pujols swinging in the 3rd. Breaking ball misses, and he's down to the count 3-1 on Trout. McHugh pitching with a lead for the first time tonight. And his second walk of the night. Both have been issued to Mike Trout. He's a leadoff base runner in the 6th.
Colin McHugh, since coming off the DL, has not gotten much run support. 2.41 runs per outing for him as far as offense. This is that portion of that ball game where I think A.J. Hinch would like to see him press through. Tough part of this Angels order to do that through. Guys getting loose out there in that Astros bullpen right now.
Astros would love to get a ball on the ground here from Albert Pujols. He has grounded into 20 double plays on the season and takes a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Pujols is grounded out and struck out. One and 1 the count. Hugh has thrown as many as 106 pitches. That came a couple of starts ago in Arizona. 7 start back. He's thrown 100 pitches or more in 2 of those outings. This is pitch number 88 of the night. And it's 2-1.
Can't pitch worried about contact. You've got to be able to execute your pitch. And right now it feels like Colin McHugh might be trying to pitch to avoid contact instead of pitching to get that ground ball. Trying to be too fine on that outside edge, falling behind.
Called strike. Pujols couldn't pull the trigger. It's 2-2.
I like it. Aggressive move. Good call by Evan Gattis right there. And it's about execution. Colin McHugh sticking to his guns. Coming in there with 87. Might have been a little bit of a cutter that backed up on him. But I still like the fact that he went inside, because you could tell that Albert Pujols is leaning over that outer 3rd.
Stays 2-2 on the machine. Albert Pujols. And he gets him. Big strikeout for Colin McHugh. Gets Pujols for the 2nd time swinging. That's strikeout number 7.
Again, good job pitching up in the zone by Colin McHugh. A lot of off speed down and away. The machine might have been looking for that off speed down and away. Tried to fight off that fastball up, and it was by him.
Chris Davinsky warming up Debo the Dragon on this Players Weekend.
It's a little surprised not to see Mike Trout try and take off with Albert Pujols at the plate. You talked about all the double plays he hits into, but Mike Trout holding his ground, staying in double play position.
McHugh's done a good job altering his times to the plate. He will hold for a longer stretch on one pitch, and then the next one kind of go directly to home. He's changing up his time to the plate.
Wanted it up. Gaddis framed it on the outside corner and got the call.
Foul out of play. It's 0-2. Calhoun doubled off the wall in right field. Scored Mike Trout with the game's first run. That came in the bottom half of the first inning. After 4 of the first 7 Angels reach base, McHugh has retired 13 of the last 14. Only a walk to Mike Trout to start this inning. One and 2 the count.
That would have been a good one to waste up in the zone to set up slider of the curveball down. Maybe we'll get a chance to see that snapdragon right here.
Count evens at 2 apiece. Astros taking the lead in the top half of the 6th inning. McHugh a walk and a strikeout. Now a 2-2 count on Calhoun. Out at the plate. That does not feel good for Calhoun. It stays 2-2.
Shin guard for Cole Coleman.
At least he kept the spelling the way his first name is. K-O-L-E. The kid leads off first base. 1 out, 2-2 count. And now it's 3-2.
It's one thing we've seen Colin McHugh do is pitch effectively up in the zone, but those last 3 pitches well up out of the zone.
Approaching 100 pitches on the night. See if Trout takes off here with 1 out and a full count. Trout 14 out of 17 in steals. He's going. The pitch is a swing and a miss. Gaddis cannot find the handle, so Trout's going to get a steal. Calhoun down with the 8th strikeout for McHugh. That's a season high. And he's the 2nd out of the inning. Stolen base number 15 for Trout.
Off the races with Calhoun up there. Snapdragon showed up and got the punch out. Gaddis unable to get the handle. Trout taking off with that oven mitt. Hey, sliding feet first. Interesting technique after blowing out that thumb, diving into a base.
Here's Andrelton Simmons. Does that mean we're going to see an oven mitt for Correa?
Yes. He was out. We saw him at Minute Maid Park. They were running him around the bases, and he actually put it on when he was running.
Simmons goes around. No, he doesn't. Looked like he went around, but that's a check swing and ball 1.
If he'd have made contact, it would have been a double.
Doug Eddings, first base umpire, said no swing.
Oh, wait, he did hold up. That was impressive. Our view back here, I thought he went too.
Simmons is grounded out and lined out.
How many times have you said Doug Eddings got that right?
Into right field. Josh Reddick puts it away. McHugh, after a leadoff walk, works around it. He is through 6 in a 2-1 lead.
Astros leading this one, and time to reveal the winner of tonight's Chevy Stro Poll. Hashtag Stro Poll. Thanks for voting. Thanks for following us at ATT Sportsnet SW. What's your favorite Astros nickname for Players Weekend? Big Fudge wins with 39% of the vote. Have I told the story yet?
No, please do.
Oh, there it is. Well, he had an injury while he was with the Marlins in the Marlins organization. So he was coming up. Him and Christian Yelich were really good friends. And he said his pants started to get a little tight. He was eating a lot of candy bars. Uniform wasn't fitting the same way. He backtracked a little bit and said it wasn't out of control by any means, but his friends started calling him, especially Yelich, started calling him Big Fudge because of all the candy that he would eat. Maybe gained a pound. And he actually named his dog Little Fudge, so it's going to run through the family. He has an Australian Shepherd. That's where he got the name Big Fudge.
Ball players are ruthless.
He wears it, though.
Yes.
He gets that a lot from everyone.
There are certain guys in clubhouses that are just a glutton for punishment.
Beltran to center field, pretty well tagged, but Trout is back there. And he makes the play for out number 1. Wasn't there a character in How I Met Your Mother, Marshall, that was nicknamed Big Fudge? I think that was part of it too. But yeah, how about Jake? Can't imagine him being pudgy.
I mean, he's all of 6'5" and pretty slender himself.
Here's the bull, Evan Gattis. He has a couple flyouts tonight. Astros have scored 2 runs tonight on Parker Bridwell. And a strike to Evan Gattis. Gattis just back from the concussion list DL. Major key. Kenyon Middleton starting to warm up for the Angels. Breaking ball catches a piece of the plate. It's 0-2. Nice. Christian Yelich and Jake Marisnick back in their first year as Marlins.
It's Throwback Friday.
Breaking ball misses. It's 1-2. The Angels 12-1 this year in games that Parker Bridwell has pitched in. 11-1 in his starts. He has given them a chance again tonight, limiting this Astros offense, best offense in baseball, to just 2 runs. But now Gattis sends one into left field on a line. That'll be a 1-out base hit. Evan with his first hit since coming back from the DL.
Nice and compact. It's got to feel good for Evan Gattis, being on that concussion disabled list, working his way back.
Diva the Dragon continues to throw, so it appears that Chris Davinsky will get a chance to pitch in the 7th inning, and if so, Colin McHugh, an outstanding outing tonight. If he is done after 6 innings, he has limited this Angels team to 3 hits and 1 run. Here's J.D. Davis, home run his first time up, and he takes a pitch outside for a ball.
I love how the PA announcements in our booth, they're announcing their nicknames.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Keenan Major Key Middleton warming up, we just heard. They have never allowed Bridwell to throw 100 pitches in his starts this year, his previous 12 starts. His high pitch count is 98. So he's approaching his 90th pitch.
Kid looks good. Good mix of pitches, aggressive with the baseball. Every time he grabs it, he's jumping right back on the mound, ready to go.
You know, you think about the Orioles, they could certainly use an arm like that. A little surprised he was involved in a deal from Baltimore to the Angels. The Angels saw something they liked, and Parker Bridwell has pitched very well. 2 earned runs or less. 7 of his last 8. Fouled off Maldonado. 2-2 the count to J.D. Davis.
I know I say it a lot, but it's all about opportunity. And Bridwell, if you ask him, probably pretty thankful to be out of Baltimore because he wasn't getting the opportunity. Obvious needs here in the starting rotation for Mike Scioscia and the Los Angeles Angels. Getting that opportunity, trying to make the most of it. Charles Nagy on the right-hand side, the pitching coach for the Los Angeles Angels.
Slicing down the right field side, and a foul ball. You mentioned Hereford's known as the beef capital of the world. It's also known because they have fluoride in their water as the town without a toothache.
You have gotten deep on this thing. You're trying to impress them, aren't you?
I didn't know where Hereford was before tonight.
We learned something tonight.
Yeah, it's right up in the top corner of the state of Texas. So I wanted to find out a little bit about Hereford, and the fact that he wears his town on his jersey tonight means he's pretty proud of where he's from. Swing and a miss. J.D. Davis goes down. Strikeout number 4 for Bridwell, and 2 outs in the 7th.
J.D. Davis has a home run and 2 punch-outs. That was a pitch that, in his mind, he saw the spin and anticipated break, but it did not break at all.
Derek Fisher, the batter. Fisher, a couple of ground outs to the second baseman. If the Astros are going to set the Major League Baseball record for most players with 10 or more home runs, more than likely this is the guy with the best shot who doesn't have 10 right now. Derek Fisher sitting at 4. Still have this weekend plus 5 weeks to go. Season ends 5 weeks from Sunday. Everybody on the opening day roster for the Astros, with the exception of Nori Aoki, with double-digit home runs. Astros could get to the all-time record for the most guys with 15 home runs or more. Beltran 1 shy of that mark. Evan Gattis 4 shy. McCann a couple of shy. Foul ball just on top of the Astros dugout. The Astros are used to ducking that foul ball at home with the screen there. The ball comes back, but no screen here in Angel Stadium.
Screen here would be twofold. It would keep foul balls from darting into the stands, and would also keep a lot of beach balls in the seats.
Yeah. Called strike on the inside corner, and it counts 2-2 on Fisher.
It's a pretty good changeup, I think, that last pitch, even though it was at 88 miles an hour. Good depth.
Fisher goes down swinging. Ball gets away. Maldonado will make the throw to first. And that'll do it for the Astros in the 7th. One runner left on base.
Time to play Name That Astro. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealer. 3 clues, that's all you get to guess this Astro. Make sure to tweet us at ATT Sportsnet SW. Our gang, California Dreamin', making history. Those are your 3 clues this evening. Best of luck to you. We're going to share with you who this Astro is a little bit later. Todd?
All right, Julia. By the way, what would your nickname be?
I know it.
Oh, no.
Jules?
Jules.
It would be Jules.
I was like, what kind of a nickname do you have for me? One I don't know about?
Had you in panic mode right there, didn't I?
Here's the second favorite nickname tonight, behind Big Fudge, Devo the Dragon.
Devo coming in, making that 51st appearance. He's looked very good of late. Fastball's been good and effective. The velocity's starting to come back, but the best part about it is the depth on the COD seems to be coming back. Big situation. Devo looking to lock down this inning.
Really good outing on Tuesday night against the Washington Nationals. He'll face Luis Valbuena, CJ Cron, and Martin Maldonado, 6, 7, and 8 in the Angels lineup. Quite a job done by Colin McHugh. McHugh retired 15 of the last 16 batters he faced. And ends up going 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Both walks he allowed were to Mike Trout. He struck out a season-high 8. That's 3 really good ones in a row for Colin McHugh.
Just not getting that run support. He has pitched extremely well to keep his Astros in these ball games, and I think it's just part of building confidence. Speaking of confidence, there's that depth on the COD, darting down and away from the left-handed hitter.
Valbuena 1 for 2, singled his first time up. He's 8 for 18 against his former team this year. And the count's 2-2. Devo the Dragon, given that nickname by Corpus Christi manager Rodney Linares. And he gets Balbuena. Gets him on the changeup for strikeout number 1. 9 strikeouts for Astros pitching.
Can we just call it the wicked googly? Because that thing is nasty. My gosh. Started about chin high and broke down and into the zone.
It is a long season. You're not going to be on your A game for a 162 game schedule. We saw Davinsky have a little bit of a rough stretch there, but came back with a strong 2 innings last outing, and see what happens tonight. There's a bullet to left field, so C.J. Cron picks on the fastball, delivers a single in the left field. Cron's now 2 for 3. And he's a 7th inning base runner. I'll bring up Martin Maldonado. Maldonado, strikeout victim twice by Colin McHugh.
Both times on sliders.
And a called strike. Catch by Gaddis on that pitch that was way up and in.
Guessing that was supposed to be the changeup at 87 miles an hour, 86. See his front foot caught his heel on the way down in his windup. But yeah, heck of a job by Gaddis not letting that get to the backstop.
There goes the runner. A little soft ground ball towards Bregman. Alex will take care of Maldonado. On the play, Cron moves to second. Cron in scoring position with 2 outs.
Maldonado got absolutely destroyed on the inside corner with that fastball from Devo. That may have hit in between his hands. Got so far in the kitchen.
Now Gaddis and Davinsky want to talk about working at Caleb Cowart.
Some peanut butter with his jam sandwich. Wow. That is getting in there.
Now Brent Strom, the pitching coach, out to talk to Davinsky.
That'll give Maldonado a chance to have the bat boy pick up his thumbs and get him back to the dugout.
No bullpen action going on right now. Just making sure they know how to attack this hitter with a tying run on second base and 2 outs in the 7th.
I wonder if it might have been Brent Strom sensing that they were trying to iron things out on that mound and said, I'm going to go out there and try and help him out, or maybe offer an opinion, because there was a pretty extensive conversation between Gaddis and Davinsky.
Gotten used to the aqua hats?
Nope.
Not a big fan?
Not a big fan.
Kind of used to it for a weekend. Doesn't look like the Astros really, but.
No. Yeah, I mean, of all the teams, I think they went the furthest from their original colors and uniform style.
Swing and a miss. Cowart down 0-1.
This is guessing fastball and not getting a fastball.
Based on that swing, we've seen Davinsky double and triple up before with the changeup. And he's doubled up on Cowart. It's 0-2.
Yeah, keep going to it.
No need to change now, right?
Yeah. Pardon the pun. Well played. You're good at this.
You almost, unless you want to throw a fastball way up and out of the zone to change the eye level, but there's almost no need to mess around with that.
No, I completely agree. These uniforms look like Jackie Moon designed them.
Jackie Moon. stuff. Well, he doesn't get
Fastball down.
Doesn't get a chase there on the fastball. It's 1-2. Howard has faced Davinsky one other time and struck out. Has not looked good on the first two changeups he's seen. Miami Tropics.
Yeah.
Jackie Moon. That was a changeup, but not good enough to entice a swing. Good block by Gaddis. It's 2-2. Cron on second base in a 2-1 game, bottom half of the 7th inning. Held up, and now the count's full. Good take by Cowart on a pitch he missed the first couple of times, and now it went from 0-2 to a full count.
Yeah, it's been an uncomfortable at bat for Caleb Cowart, but he has battled back in. Doesn't mean that Devo's going to give in and just pump a fastball through there.
All four, doesn't get a chase, so the number 9 hitter, Caleb Cowart, draws a walk after being down 0-2.
Good AB, that was a tough pitch.
Now they'll call down the bullpen. We mentioned no bullpen action going, but see Brent Strom on the phone and guys moving around out there. The Moose, Joe Musgrove. Two on, 2 outs. Chris Davinsky facing Cameron Maben. Maben 0 for 3 tonight, lined out to the third baseman J.D. Davis his last time up. Strike one.
Nicely done. Slider on that outside corner after the fastball. That was beautiful. You only have to fool one guy, and he called it.
Close enough. On the ground, stopped by Bregman, throw to third, safe. Bases are loaded. An 0-2 pitch. Bregman did a good job keeping the ball in the infield, and he almost picked up an out of it.
Fastball in. Good defensive play all the way around. Bregman on the backhand, heads up, trying to get that lead runner, J.D. Davis, on the bag, but Cron beats it.
That was a nice slide by Cron because he went in right on top of the bag.
He did.
Bregman showing some good range tonight at shortstop.
Really has.
That was a ball off the bat that you thought might have a chance to get to the outfield. Not only did he knock it down, he gloved it cleanly. Now Mike Trout bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Last pitch to Maben, the 0-2 pitch, probably one that Devo would like to have back. A little too much of the plate at the 0-2 pitch. Gets ahead of Trout 0-1. And it's 0-2. Well, Devo's been ahead of the last 3 hitters, 0-2.
Well, and it's gutsy too with that changeup breaking down and into the right-handed hitter Mike Trout, who loves to pitch down, and did a great job with the depth on that one. Remember earlier in the game talking about being able to beat Mike Trout up with the fastball. Colin McHugh's done it. Went to the well again.
Just a piece at 0-2. Devo got ahead of Cowart 0-2, went heavy changeup. Then he got ahead of Maben 0-2 and went to the fastball. Against Trout 0-2, threw a changeup. See what he goes to here. This ball misses away. Gavin's walked it up.
Yep, on it elevated in that upper portion of the zone. Literally from that bottom, that middle third down is just a red hot zone for Mike Trout. Everything above, the third above, is ice cold.
Tried to get upstairs on that fastball, and he fouled it away at 96 miles an hour.
Good job by Mike Trout. It's where he wanted it, but again, 2 strikes, trying to fight. Has a tough time bringing the barrel up to that top portion of the zone.
What do you go to here? It's either fastball or changeup. He's thrown changeup at 0-2 with a third pitch and back-to-back fastballs.
What's your money pitch? COD.
Just missed the corner. 2-2. Evo usually throws his fastball around 94. A little amped up in this scenario against Mike Trout. We've seen a couple of 96s with the fastball. Now the count's full.
Fans get into it. Everybody on their feet in anticipation.
Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded in a 1-run game. With the reigning MVP at the plate. Pop up on the infield. Marwin Gonzalez backpedals, puts it away. Chris Davinsky and the Astros with a big out, getting Trout to pop up to end the 7th.
Run game with the Astros on top of the Angels. School is back, but there is still time to sign your kids up to be an Astros Buddy member. For only $25, Coca-Cola Astros Buddies members will receive an exclusive Astros backpack, socks, cap, and ticket vouchers for an Astros home game. Visit astros.com/buddy to buy your membership now. Todd?
All right, Jules, we head to the 8th inning. Astros have the leadoff hitter due up, George Springer. And a new pitcher for the Angels is Keenan Middleton.
Keenan Middleton coming out of that pen for Mike Scioscia. He's one of the true flamethrowers out of that bullpen, averaging 96.7 miles an hour on the fastball. Has a changeup, has a slider that he pumps in there at 88 miles an hour. 42 2/3 innings pitched. He's got 45 punch outs, making his 49th appearance. His nickname's Major Key, and I'm going to give this one to you because I'm assuming that you have a pretty good idea considering your genre of music that you enjoy.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, buddy.
Major Key was an album that dropped last year. Here's Springer facing Middleton. This guy's got good stuff. He's fastball changeup, as you mentioned, to righties. He'll be fastball slider to left-hand hitters. Excuse me, the other way around. Fastball changeup to lefties, fastball slider to right-hand hitters. Tries to take advantage of right on right. Springer at the plate where he doubled and scored his last time up. Ended up being the go-ahead run in this 2-1 game. Fouls back that fastball at 97. Middleton can bring it with the fastball. It's 1-1. Middleton's a guy who's really made a name for himself this year in their bullpen. Last season pitched out of the bullpen exclusively for the first time in his career. Basketball and baseball star in college. Takes a pitch away to Springer. It's 2-1.
99. Bringing it.
There's only one guy in the stadium that wears a jersey that says 100 miles. So Middleton better not get there tonight. Two and two the count. That's that slider we talked about. Astros looking for insurance runs. Joe Musgrove warming up. He could pitch the 8th. As Middleton at 99 blows the fastball by Springer.
There's some cheese.
That is easy. Free, easy 99 on the outside part of the plate. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman having another good night after a 3-for-5 night last night. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Astros played 11 innings last night against the Nationals before losing that game in 11 5-4. They arrived at their hotel, did the Astros, right around 3 o'clock in the morning. The Nationals did not get to their stadium, playing a home game tonight against the Mets. Didn't get to their stadium until about 5:30 in the morning.
That was it's brilliant scheduling.
And not surprisingly, Nationals lost tonight 4-2. That may not happen next year. There are going to be some changes in the scheduling based on sleep studies and teams traveling on night games. And
they've got sabermetrics for sleep.
Oh yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. We're gonna see some changes in the scheduling with travel days being more often day games because of that scenario. Did Red Dog almost get hit?
Red Dog did a pretty good jump toe touch to get out of the way of that shot off the bat of Alex Bregman. It's good spidey senses.
Love that sleeve he's got. There's a little punch shot, and why not? Alex Bregman, after a 3-hit game last night, has another 3-hit game tonight. Bregman continues to rake. He had 2 hits in his last 3 at-bats on Wednesday.
Right now he is in just touch it mode. All he has to do is get the bat on it somehow, some way. It's going to turn into a hit. As a hitter, you just ride that wave as long as you possibly can.
He's now at 286. He's getting towards Yuli Gurriel, who is at 290 now.
He keeps putting up the number 3 little hand gesture towards the dugout. Maybe he's telling guys, I'm getting closer to that 300 mark, boys. I keep this up.
And if he gets there, that would be a great comeback from a struggle early in the season. He's batting over 350 now since the 4th of July. 1-0 the count to Josh Reddick. Josh with a single his last time up. One of our viewers said, and when I called it a flare into left field, I should have called it a Ric Flair.
Oh yeah.
Off the bat of Reddick.
Just wooed it out there.
He simply dropped it right in front of Maben. He's tested Maben a couple of times. Maben won the first test, and then he was able to drop one in front of Cameron the last time up. Astros with 7 hits. Bregman has 3 of them. Josh fouls one away. Bregman does have 13 steals on the season. Martin Maldonado is a tough guy to run on. Counts 1-2. Astros and the Angels, 2 very good starting performances tonight. Colin McHugh, 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Parker Bridwell, 7 innings of 6-hit, 2-run baseball. Bridwell allowed a solo home run to J.D. Davis and an RBI single, on a wild pitch, scoring the 2nd run. That was it. Kept the Astros pretty much in check tonight. And now Keenan Middleton with a count of 1-2 on Reddick. Line drive over the head of Coward into right field. Bregman getting to second. Little slide in there as Calhoun got the ball back in quickly. So back-to-back base hits, Bregman and Reddick, and the Astros in business in the 8th.
So with all the base running woes that we've seen the Astros have this season, this was a great job on a line drive off the bat of Josh Reddick by Alex Bregman. Freeze. Look to get back and then advance as soon as you see that ball get into the outfield. Worry about going station to station before trying to be aggressive and get that extra base and running yourself into a possible double play.
So 2-on for Yuli Gurriel. Yuli looking for his first hit tonight. In fact, the 4, 5, 6 hitters in the Astros lineup are 0 for 9 tonight. Gurriel, Marwin, and Carlos Beltran. Yuli takes a called strike. Down the left field line, long run Maben. He's going to get there. Cameron makes the play for out number 2. Yuli flies out to left. Julia, what do you have for us?
It's time to name that Astro. Brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We gave you 3 clues. Our gang, California Dreamin', making history. Al Spangler, or Spanky. On Players Weekend, we'll go by his nickname.
Spanky Spangler. First RBI in Colt 45 history.
I didn't have that one.
Angels tie as well. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin looking for his first hit. And he's trying to snap an 0 for 10. Marwin has that average right at 300 as he steps in there. Takes a called strike.
In case you're wondering where my head's at on this nickname weekend, Players Weekend for the major leaguers, it would have been funny if McCann would have put Gaddis on the back of his jersey and Evan put McCann on the back of his jersey. Just saying.
That would have been awesome. That would have been completely confusing yet awesome.
I mean, it would have been great to hear Gooby and Vic Rojas next to us trying to figure out who's who.
Why is McCann batting right-handed?
That would be the best.
McCann, no nickname, and we already heard Julia tell the story of Gaddis, who goes by Bull this weekend. Good to have them back and healthy. 1-1 the count to Marwin. There's Evan, had a base hit his last time up. And his partner in crime behind the plate. Middleton ahead 1-2 on Marwin.
Or if they both went McGaddis on the back of their jersey.
McGaddis 1, McGaddis 2. We have Snapdragon 1 and 2. Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
First game back. Brian had to catch 11 innings last night. Marwin stays alive at the plate.
And fighting off 98.
Astros would love to tack on a run here. Hoping for a 2-out RBI by Marwin Gonzalez. Looks like Musgrove will pitch the 8th inning. That has been Joe's inning the last couple of times out of the bullpen. Bounces away. Both runners will advance. Reddick to second, Bregman to third. And now 2 are in scoring position. And a 2-2 count on Marwin.
And Maldonado doing everything he can to try and smother that pitch from Major Key. There's a major spike on the slider.
Let's see if Marwin can find a base hit somewhere. Make this a 4-1 game. There's that rainbow barrel bat. Marwin goes down swinging. Middleton picks up a strikeout to strand 2. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 2-1. Presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Toyota. Let's go places. 8th inning baseball. Not a whole lot of offense tonight. Both pitchers of the starters did a very nice job. Keenan Middleton working out of a jam in the 8th inning. And now the bottom half of the inning turns over to Joe Musgrove.
Turning into Super Joe Musgrove. Those 11 games in relief this season, you see the record at 1-0. The 16 and the third innings pitched has developed into 18 punch-outs. Moose has done a good job with the fastball. The slider's been great. He's been very aggressive in attacking that zone and really embracing the opportunity coming out of that bullpen.
Very first time coming out of the bullpen, he looked comfortable and he has not looked back. Former starter really making a home for himself in that setup role now for Ken Giles, as he will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Albert Pujols, Cole Calhoun, and Andrelton Simmons. Chris Davinsky faced 6 batters in the 7th and worked through a bases loaded 3-2 count to Mike Trout to get a pop-up to end the 7th. Pujols 0 for 3 tonight against Colin McHugh. First pitch from Joe misses outside for a ball, 1-0. On the ground towards short. Bregman's having a nice game playing short tonight. That was an easy chance, and there's one away in the 8th.
Breg has looked really fluid at shortstop. The footwork's been great. He's shown great range. Even good savvy out there with some of the decisions he's made. What a nice asset also to have the ability to move him to shortstop. And Marwin likewise moving from short to second to fill in for Jose Altuve.
Now both guys will shift to the right side of the infield with Cole Calhoun the batter. Marwin shifts way over close to first base. Calhoun hit a ball off the wall in the first inning. That's the only run the Angels have scored to this point. 2-1 game. Colin McHugh only allowed that first inning run and then really settled in. At one point McHugh retired 12 in a row, ended up retiring 15 of the last 16 batters he faced. 2-0 the count. Calhoun's also flied out and struck out. Check swing, and it's 3-0. One thing about Joe is he's normally a guy you can count on to throw strikes, whether he was a starter or out of the bullpen. He's usually right around the zone. And in this count, he's down 3-0 on Calhoun. There's a strike. Just missed down low, ball 4. Musgrove walks Calhoun. He's a 1-out base runner in the 8th. Now Musgrove will face Andrelton Simmons. Simmons lined out, grounded out, and flied to right. Both of the Astros losses in that series to the Nationals were 1-run losses. They also played a game in which it was 2-1 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And tonight here we are in another 1-run game. A lot of tight contests lately for the Astros. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Counts is up there. It's 1-2.
Good job by Evan. Slider down, smothered by Evan, keeping that runner at first base. Keeps that double play in order.
Simmons is a guy who has given Musgrove some problems recently. He has 3 consecutive hits against Joe. There's a spear by Marwin, and a double play is turned. Bullet up the middle. Marwin makes the glove hand spear and then throws to first to double up Cole Calhoun.
They have over the Angels. Commemorate the inaugural Players Weekend today through Sunday at MLBshop.com with limited edition Astros jerseys and tees featuring player-picked nicknames. Wear the gear the players will wear on the field next weekend, or this weekend. Available while supplies last at MLBshop.com.
Last inning ended this way, Blummer.
Yeah, that shift sometimes helps you out right there, and a little bit of range from Marwin Gonzalez on the line drive off Andrelton Simmons. Cole Calhoun was anticipating base hit, but a great play by Marwin turns it into a double play. Appreciation on the bench.
Love Tuve, but would he have been tall enough on that line drive?
Oh, man, you didn't go there, did you?
I know, but I had to. Just thinking about Marwin getting up there on that line drive.
Let's appreciate Marwin.
We go to the 9th, and it's Cam Bedrosian's turn. Rocking the nickname that his daddy had, Steve Bedrosian. Will be bedrock for the weekend.
They will be wearing these jerseys all weekend, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
There's that fastball up in the zone. Beltran can't lay off. It's 0-1. Carlos 0 for 3 tonight. Lined out to center his last time up. Trojan pounds the zone there. It's 0-2.
Fastball, curveball from Cam. Spent
a lot of time on the disabled list this year. And Throws that curveball down in the dirt. Tough at bat for Beltran as he goes down for the first out.
Catcher number 11, Evan Gaddis.
Bedrosian missed 53 games this year with a right groin strain, and now pitching in the 9th inning, trailing 2-1. Normally he's a guy who can come in and try and get a save from Mike Scioscia, but Scioscia knows he's got a couple of guys that can get saves, with Bud Norris picking up some saves earlier in the year. And Bedrosian also has 6 saves. Breaking ball and a called strike to Evan Gaddis. Evan 1 for 3. And 100 Miles Giles. Ken Giles warming up in the bullpen. He's got to live up to it tonight, right?
I would think so. You're going to put it on your jersey. All the world to see. Bring it.
You saw Middleton get to 99 on the ground towards short. Simmons will take his time. Anderton makes a throw, and there's 2 away. 2 outs, base is empty, and J.D. Davis will bat.
I'll tell you what, if I'm the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim scoreboard, miles per hour charter guy that puts it up on the board, I would purposefully dial down the radar gun with 100 Miles Giles in there. Would that be messed up?
You're mean.
Some have said that.
That is so mean. Just because he's wearing the jersey?
Yeah. Astros after dark.
Astros after dark. It's almost midnight. Central time, of course. 0-1 the count to J.D. Davis. Davis has a home run and a couple of strikeouts tonight.
The only reason I say that, when I was with the San Diego Padres, we faced Brad Penny when he was with the Dodgers in Petco Park, and he was grunting, throwing as hard as he possibly could. The gun never moved off 92, 93 miles an hour. He kept trying to throw harder and harder, lost control. We ended up beating him.
Are you serious?
It was great. It was
Said
great.
they have it dialed down?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
We would come back, it'd be whap. We'd be like, man, oh man, Brad Penny's bringing it today. You look at the scoreboard, 92. We were like, if that's 92, I don't have a dial that's going to reach 92.
And it got into his coconut.
Oh, man, just a little bit.
Wow. 1-1 the count to J.D. J.D. hit back-to-back home runs. Last at bat last night, first at bat tonight. He's down to the count here, 1-2. J.D. tied the game up with that home run in the 3rd. Astros taking the lead in the 6th on a wild pitch, scoring George Springer. Not a lot of scoring opportunities other than that. They did have 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs in the 8th inning, but couldn't score. Up the middle, Cowart to his right, off balance throw, retires J.D. Davis, and we head to the bottom of the 9th in a 2-1 game.
little bit closer look at Ken Giles. Some of the highlights are from last night's ball game against the Washington Nationals, but in 8 games in August, he has pitched 10 innings. We've seen a couple of multi-inning saves from Ken Giles, and it has been very good. He has been throwing in the upper 90s, touching 100 a couple times, but he's also been able to locate that slider and get a lot of big punch-outs when he needs them. Astros expecting the same thing from Ken Giles here tonight.
100 miles Giles on this players weekend. No margin for error in this 2-1 game. Angels led 1-0 early. Astros tied it, then took the lead in the 6th. And that's where we stand now as Ken Giles will face Luis Valbuena, C.J. Cron, Martin Maldonado, 6, 7, 8 in the Angels lineup. Valbuena singled in 3 at-bats. He is 7 for 19 on the season against his former team. And 100 miles Giles throws a slider in at 86 for a called strike. Colin McHugh, 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Chris Tavinsky got out of a bases loaded situation in the 7th. Joe Musgrove had a double play turn for him in the 8th. And now Giles ahead 0-2. He got him, foul tip caught by Gaddis. 3-pitch strikeout for Giles. Slider, fastball, slider, and down goes Valbuena.
Command is key for Ken Giles. It's been very good of late. It allows him to get ahead and take command of ABs. That was nicely done.
That'll bring up C.J. Cron. Cron's been a tough out tonight. He has a couple of hits, 2 of the Angels' 5 hits. Also lined out to left the one time he was retired. New outfield alignment as well for the Astros this inning. Pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Josh Reddick is moved to left, George Springer in right, Jake Marisnick in center. The Cupid shuffle in play for the 9th inning, 1-1 count on C.J. Cron. There is Jake coming into the game.
Big Fudge.
Big Fudge patrolling center field. People in the outfield probably getting hungrier at this point.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, 99.
We're getting closer.
He needs one more tick of the gun to get to the 100 miles Giles nickname. Pinch hitter on deck for Martin Maldonado, Cliff Pennington. Foul ball headed towards the crowd. And J.D. Davis gives it a look. Now 5 rows deep. Astros and Angels in a good one tonight. He got him. Giles with another strikeout on the slider. 2 strikeouts. The first 2 batters he has faced in the 9th.
It's a great slider, and he's getting good action on it. Seen that slider in the past back up a little bit, but tonight we are seeing that good sharp break down out of the zone.
So hitting for Martin Maldonado is Cliff Pennington. Angels down to their final out. Astros trying to hold on to the first game of this weekend series. There's a line drive past Marwin Gonzalez into right field for a hit. Pennington keeps things alive for the Angels with a single to right as a pinch hitter.
Not easy to come off the bench and face a guy throwing 97, 98 miles an hour, but Penny does a good job of getting the barrel to it.
That'll bring up Caleb Cowart. Cowart has never faced Ken Giles before tonight. Colin McHugh struck him out twice. He also walked against Chris Davinsky. Called strike.
So if I'm a hitter and I know a guy's throwing 100 miles an hour, also has a slider, I'm going to sit on that fastball early. But what we've seen here recently in August is the ability to do what Ken Giles just did, is locate, get me over slider.
He's done it brilliantly in this inning. There's that fastball, just missed at the knees at 98. It's 1-1.
That's a strike.
Good carry.
Just below that zone. Caught the bottom edge, not enough, but I thought that was a great pitch, good location. And again, sometimes where you miss gives you an idea of where a guy's command is. That's a good spot for Ken Giles to miss.
Down and in, 2-1. Giles got 2 quick outs on strikeouts, getting Valbuena and Crone. Look, Pennington is a pinch hitter, singled into right. Now a 2-1 count on Caleb Cowart. Two and two. 98 and a called strike. Scioscia doesn't like the call.
In a similar location as that fastball that we saw earlier, that second pitch. That one just a hair higher, gets the call.
Well, Ken Giles 1 pitch away. Runner on the move. Ground ball right side. Marwin has it. And the Astros win. 2-1 the final score. Giles picks up the save. Colin McHugh, a well-earned victory. Not a lot of offense on this Friday night in Anaheim, but the Astros prevail in the first game of this series.
Player of the game is going to be brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It is Colin McHugh. He went 6 strong, only gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 8 punch-outs, doing a great job elevating the fastball when necessary. And once he established up in the zone, did a great job of snapping off the snapdragon to get a couple of those punch-outs out of the 8th.
McHugh gets the win. Another strong outing against the Angels. The Astros have won his last 5 starts here in this stadium as they win tonight 2-1. We'll have more, including the post-game show, right around the corner.